Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome. And today we're going over tech news. So welcome and sit back, relax, grab your cup of coffee like I did, and let's go over some of the more recent news and GPU prices and stuff like that we are checking out. So first off, I want to talk about the 12900K's performance versus the new Ryzen 7600X that's coming out September 27th. And as you can see here, well, it says September 29th, but it's supposed to be releasing the 27th. Obviously, that's AM5 platform. And if you look at the cores versus the threads, the 7600X has 6 cores, 12 threads, as compared to the 12900K, 16 and 24. And you can see the boost frequencies are roughly about the same, but you're going to be paying probably less, I would imagine, for this. I know it's supposed to be starting out at $300 for the 7600X. As to where I believe the 12900K is still like a $500 to $700 chip, depending on where you buy it. And it's supposed to be a really good chip for what it is. Now, from what I've heard, though, that the 7600X is only going to be about 5% faster. In terms of just overall raw performance, it's only going to be about 5% better than the 12900K. But either way, you will be doing a platform upgrade, so you have to take that into consideration. Otherwise, if you didn't want to do quite a platform upgrade yet, but you wanted a better CPU, you could always go with the 5800X 3D. It has very similar performance to the 7600X. Its boost frequency isn't nearly as high, but its overall gaming performance is pretty darn close, within 10%. Not even 10%. So that's a good option if you don't want to upgrade. But there are some other specs here. Now, the L2 cache is 14 megabytes shared on the 12900K. That means it's shared across all cores. And then if you look at the 1 megabyte per core for the 7600X, that's, it's a 6-core chip. And therefore, you're getting about 6 megabytes of L2 cache. But you are getting 32 megabytes of L3 cache compared to 30 on the 12900K. Again, not too much of a difference there. Pretty darn close. Where this chip is really going to shine, I think, is the 5 nanometer process as compared to the 10 nanometer process, and the overall temperature, the TDP that it has compared to the 12900K is 20 watts lower. Now, that's not a crap ton, but it will save heat in your system. And you won't need a super beefy cooler or anything crazy like that. But I know the 12900K has been known to draw upwards of 400 watts while overclocked. And you probably won't even come close to that if you overclock the 7600K. So again, you're going to be running cooler with that chip for slightly better performance. And the 7600X does have integrated graphics. All of the new Ryzen chips, the 7600X, 7700X, 7800X, 7900X, or 7900X and 7950X, excuse me. They all have iGPUs. Now, from what I hear, they're not going to be all that great. They're not going to be made really to be gaming on. Now, I'm sure with some older titles, you probably could game on them. If you currently don't have a graphics card and you're looking to upgrade your CPU, then maybe. But yeah. And another place where the Ryzen chip excels is it can accept or handle DDR5 5200, as to where the Intel chip can only handle up to DDR5 4800. So that's a big thing there. And I know Lisa Sue recommends 6000 for the frequency on the new AMD chips. So I'm guessing right here, this is the starting point, and then you can work up from there. So that's that. And yeah, so let's go on to the next thing. So now in terms of PCI Express functionality, the lanes that it has, 24 lanes compared to 20. Obviously, the PCIe version is 5.0, same as Intel. And the single core performance on this is pretty good. So if we go over to this, we can scroll down and we can see some of the scores here for the benchmarks. And the Ryzen 7600X scores surprisingly well in single core compared to the 12900K. And that's pretty good for AMD, actually. Now, multi-core, it did not score as good, but you have to take into account also that the 12900K has quite a few more cores than the 7600X, and that is more than likely where it's making up that 2900 there as compared to the 1478. So you look down here, and as you see, the Core i5 12600K compared to the 5600X stomps this in single core performance and multi-core performance. So as you can see, AMD has really stepped up the game in single core performance, so that's something really nice to look forward to. And yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much it. If you're looking for single core performance, you know, that's going to help a lot in games, though games are starting to take more advantage of extra cores and threads. So that'll be nice too, because their higher end chips this year are going to be really, really good for that, along with their high boost frequencies as well. So why don't we go over to eBay? We're going to check out some of the graphics card market here. And this hasn't changed a whole lot, at least not on eBay. But if we look through the prices here, this is all buy it now, and it's sorted from lowest to highest price used, because that's where you're going to find the price differences. So the cheapest one on here is an EVGA card for a 10 gigabyte 3080, going for the buyer's asking $530, which isn't too bad. That's lower than it has been. And actually, a lot of these are lower than they have been. They were going for about 600 and something a while back. So this is a little bit better, but again, not great. And these look like they're all 10 gigabit 10 gigabyte versions as well. So there's no 12s in here for that price. But yeah, prices have not changed too much since the Ethereum merge. I expect the market to crash here at some point and GPU prices to get much lower than they already are. It's just a matter of them going through buyer's remorse and coming to the realization that they need to sell their cards for what they can instead of what they bought them for. So if we go over here to the RX 6800 XT, you can see prices are a little bit better, but not by a crazy amount. Like, there's a few decently priced ones on here, but again, not too much of a difference between new and used. You can get these at a pretty decent price, around $600, brand new right now. So they're not really worth buying at the moment, unfortunately. But I know hopefully soon these prices will lower. So let's check out Newegg for brand new pricing. So as you can see here, so we got the same things over here. So the 3080s, and those are between $500 and $600. And if you look at brand new on Newegg, they are going for between $700 and $800 still. So I mean, not too much of a change there. They have come down in price a little bit, brand new, but I know Nvidia is pretty rock solid on not lowering their prices really a whole lot more. And I think we all know the news from about them at this point in time. Uh, they've been doing some really crappy stuff to their AIBs. So yeah, I'm actually surprised the EVGA cards are still on here, because if you look on other websites, they are listed as out of stock. They are no longer selling cards for NVIDIA. They are no longer making cards for NVIDIA. So yeah, I'm surprised Newegg still has some. That's probably just because people aren't buying right now. At least the NVIDIA cards, not a whole lot of people are buying. Mainly due to the price, because they're not even, as you can see, they're not even down to MSRP yet. MSRP on these cards is $700, and they're not even, the closest one is 740, 750. And then it just skyrockets from there, and you could see, starts going up to $800, and then you got bundles for over $800. Newegg's really trying to get rid of some of these cards, and just not a good deal right now. I mean, there's not really a whole lot, if anything, worth getting in terms of 3080s at the moment. So that's unfortunate. But maybe, hopefully soon, again, these prices will go down due to the Ethereum merge. The whole proof of stake thing should kick things off, and hopefully we'll see some price changes in the next few weeks. And then if we go over to the 6800 XTs, these haven't really changed a whole lot in price either. But they are cheaper than any of the 3080s. Like, they're anywhere between $100 and $150 cheaper, depending on which one you get. Now, obviously, the cheapest ones you can get are the MSI 6800 XT, which this is the one I originally bought. I don't know if it was just a fluke, but the card just took a crap on me within 2 weeks. So I don't know if I'd necessarily recommend that card. Now, the ASRock card, the Phantom D Gaming, or Gaming D, this one I've not really heard anything bad about. The main issue that I've heard people saying is that the card does tend to get hotter than some of the other models, but it's not really a huge issue. If you have a case with good airflow and you have a setup like how my PC is set up, where I have two fans on the bottom intaking air, blowing it onto my GPU, then that helps a lot with cooling this, any GPU off really, but it would definitely help cooling off this card. And I mean, yeah, if you got good airflow, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But $600 compared to $740 or $750 for, about pretty much the same performance, maybe in some cases even better performance. And I mean, you're saving money. And I'm not trying to sound like an AMD fanboy. I do understand both sides, but it's the hard facts that AMD is just so much cheaper right now, at least for the most part. And you can see some of the stuff starts to go up quite a bit. But in terms of like your main cards that people buy, like the Sapphire Pulse, that's 700. You're always going to pay a premium for the Sapphire cards, unfortunately, but they are nice cards and they're some of the best. And then you got your Asus over here, actually has had a price drop recently, and you get a $55 off code. So you can get the Asus TUF version for $600 after the code. And then you can get the XFX Speedster, which is another card that people go to that's actually the same kind of card I have in mine, except for mine's a 6650. And you can get that for $630. If you want to try your luck at the MSI one, that's $600. And you can get a rebate on that, as well as the ASRock. So, I mean, yeah, really, if you're looking for a new GPU, I would say if you're open to trying out an AMD product, I haven't had any issues with drivers really, not with my current card, and it's been a pretty buttery smooth experience so far, and I get pretty good performance, even though it's an entry level card. But I mean, yeah, if you're open to switching to Team Red, I would say, if that's something you want to do and you need a graphics card now, go for it, because you're going to save anywhere between 100 and 200 bucks, depending on what card you get, compared to Nvidia's stock, which is not even close to MSRP yet. So I mean, you got to kind of weigh those odds too. And then, if you don't want to buy Nvidia products due to the recent mishap between them and EVGA and just them treating their AIBs like shit, then maybe AMD is an option for you. So, it never hurts to switch. Like I said, I haven't had any issues with drivers or any weirdness or anything like that. I think by this point, AMD pretty much has the drivers for the 6000 series GPUs pretty much worked out. And you may find a few hiccups here and there, but I wouldn't say it's anything game breaking or, anything that would make it a deal breaker, in my opinion. These cards still offer super solid performance. And yeah, so I mean, I think that's pretty much all I have today for PC tech news. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this was informative. And hopefully we can look forward to some lower prices on GPUs here soon. But I guess time will tell. The proof of stake will tell. So, yeah. Anyways, if you like this video, give it a like. And if you're new, subscribe. I do have a Patreon. For those of you who don't know, I am doing a poll over there right now. You don't have to buy anything or spend any money or anything like that. It's completely free. Just go click on what game you want to see. It's a poll that I put up that you can choose which. I have a list of like 4 or 5 games on there, and you just vote for one, and it's free. You don't have to pay anything. And that helps me decide what I want to upload next or what I want to upload in the future. So go over there, check it out. I'll put the link in the description as well. And you can also donate while you're over there if that's something you want to do, but it's not necessary. That's only if you want to help support the channel. But anyways, this is Anubis Tech and Games, and I'll catch you on the next one.